So I have a few opening remarks. So I've been here a little over a year. How many retirements have I already gone through? So I get here 3 weeks later, and Bob Nadeau, he's gone. So I have a few facts that I'd like to share. I'll start with Deb. Her hire date was November 27th, 1978. She worked here for 37 years, 1 month, and 4 days. She was hired as a morning local news insert. First thing I noticed about her 14 months ago is she called me baby. And I didn't know, I wondered the whole time if she ever really knew my name, but it was always baby. Today she switched it up and called me
Sweetie Pie.
Sweetie Pie, yeah. It's Mike. Okay. But, and then there's a few things that I want to read about Deb. These are things that actually I got from, of course, Judy. She kind of dug them up from some of Walt's old reports. She has a great attitude. She really, really cares about KMOV, our station. She really, really cares about our on-air product. You can take Deb at her word. If she makes a commitment, you know she will follow through. Her word is her bond. Her performance as an audio operator is among the best that the station's ever had. As a matter of fact, Judy dug up an old memo that was from Alan Cohen back in 1994. And it was a memo to the staff where she was recognized as Employee of the Month. In the memo, of course, Alan praised her and also her performance at KMOV. So the enthusiasm was great, and while she did a fabulous job. She treats everyone equally. And then there was this. Right, I'm quoting. Uh-oh. I think this came from one of Walt's reports, his annual. He says, Deb is a boisterous person by nature and occasionally pushes the boundaries of decorum.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's like I need one of Walt's hats on. So I want to say, happy retirement, baby.
Thank you.
And we miss seeing you, and we miss your positive smile, and so we love you and wish you tremendous success.
Thanks, Mike.
So John, the first he was described to me as he's the transmitter guy. Like, who is this guy? He's never here. John's hire date was March 22nd, 1999. He worked here 16 years, 9 months, and 8 days. You probably were only here maybe about 2 weeks total. Otherwise, he's at the transmitter. Was hired as an engineer, and this one's a little harder because John was always away. As a matter of fact, Judy even mentioned, and she had worked here, I think Judy had been here a year, but she said it took her about a year to realize that he worked here. He said, who is this guy? He's like showing up and didn't even know he worked here. But John was available 24/7 to keep things going and keep us on the air. So those of you that really want to appreciate somebody, it's the transmitter guy, the unsung hero. He was the employee many people never saw because he was the transmitter guy. And pretty much was the only at the station on Saturday morning, so a lot of people didn't see him. But he had a profound effect in keeping us on the air. Walt once said, by John, his knowledge of transmitters and RF systems is outstanding. He knows and understands every element of our transmitting plan. Okay? And on many occasions, it becomes apparent that he knows more about our transmitters than probably the manufacturer. So I'd like to say, happy retirement, transmitter guy. John. And we wish you good health and success. So a few people are going to speak right after me. I think Gabe, if you don't mind coming up, he wants to share a few words. And then after that, Walt will follow, and then we'll have a few little entertainment from a variety of people, and then if you and Tom would wrap it up, and then you guys can speak, give a few words after that. So, come on.
How do you follow that up?
Oh, yeah.
You two guys, I tell you. Anyway,
John mentioned I started working prior to we worked at Channel 30 together, and I remember one occasion where we're at Master Control, two-man operation, and our Odetics commercial cart machine went down. Oh my God. So we've got 3 external decks, we're going out, we're pulling, we're queuing, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, here comes this sachet guy walking in, John Minch. You got problems? Gets on the phone with the manufacturer. About an hour later, we're back up and we're running. I said, whoa, he's smart. Very, very, very intelligent. And one of the other things I remember is right after 9/11, I think Walt wanted John Minch to build a secondary studio at our transmitter, just in case, you know, we could still be on the air and blah, blah, blah. And I wanted to stop in and take a look at this. And sure enough, it was a mini studio. I was like, wow, impressed. This guy knows electronics and we'll miss you very, very much. Deb. First, I'd like to everybody to reflect on the good things that Deb has done for you. Thank you.
I'm gonna beat you up.
Deb has shown us all how to eat well and how to do this and do that. As a matter of fact, I cut grass today and I almost brought some in for her to fix up. You know, she's one thing I do like about Deb, we went out one night and Deb is not a drinker. She does not drink unless you're drinking. Let me try that, baby. This is real good.
And the cherries from your Manhattan.
Truthfully, I just wanted to say, in accordance with the union, that we'll miss you. We hope you enjoy your retirement, and God bless.
Now this feels really strange. It's kind of interesting how situations repeat themselves. We had an opening for a transmitter engineer in 1999 because the 2 engineers that were taking care of the transmitter had accepted a buyout offer from Belo. Now, 17 years later, we're having this party because John accepted a buyout offer from Meredith. I don't know if Don Hoyce is in the audience or not, but if he's here 17 years, you'll get your buyout. One of the things a manager hopes to see in an employee is that they take ownership for their job position. That's something that I really didn't have any trouble with John. In fact, ownership is kind of an understatement. Maybe kingdom, empire, a little closer to reality. However, John did allow Joe and me to come down and visit anytime we wanted. Seriously, one of the ways John showed his sense of responsibility for the transmitter was always being available to deal with problems. The master control engineers, you remember those guys, we used to have them here. Sorry about that. Knew they could call John at any time of the day or night, and if he wasn't at the transmitter, he'd log in via remote control and fix whatever the problem was. Then I'd get a call telling me everything was fine, don't worry about it. When there really was a serious problem, I'd get a call from John asking permission to go in on overtime and deal with whatever the situation was. John would always keep me advised of how things were going and give me options. You know, I could stay longer and get this done, or we could do this and it'd be stable and then I can come back on straight time. It's not very often that the guy earning the overtime is worried about the costs. That was John. Speaking in the past tense. Obviously, over 17 years, some, shall we say, interesting things happened at the transmitter. John always stayed cool. In fact, I really believe that John is unflappable. I'll give you an example. I was in my office one afternoon, this is a good 10 years ago, maybe a little more, and I got a call from John. He said, there's a little problem down here at the transmitter, and could you get a wet or dry vacuum and come on down? Okay, so I obviously asked, what's going on, John? He let me know that a coolant water connection at the bottom of one of the transmitter cabinets had broken and sprayed the inside of the cabinet and most of the transmitter floor with coolant. Now, to put this in perspective, the transmitter has a 35,000 volt power supply at about 3 amps. It's over 100,000 watts of power going into this thing. Just got sprayed with water. And the power tube inside there costs $25,000 to replace. And John's calmly telling me he has a slight problem down at the inside. Well, I grabbed a wet or dry vac and went down. John and I had a very pleasant afternoon vacuuming up what's basically antifreeze and checking out the transmitter. And actually the tube did survive that, if I remember correctly. John started at KMOV just after we put our first digital transmitter on the air. And the FCC in its own wisdom changed the rules and we had to change frequencies. And so John managed the day-to-day process of that entire thing. We had to install a new auxiliary transmitter, a new auxiliary antenna, switch over to that, and then very quickly rebuild our main transmitter and put up a new antenna on top of a 1,200-foot tall tower, all of that to get back to full power. John managed that extremely well. We came in on time and with absolutely no off-air problems. So just an example of the skills that John has. John, thank you for owning the transmitter and for caring very much about the station and for keeping us on the air. We have had and continue to have the best on-air record of any station in the market because of John. Also, thank you for letting me sleep at night. I gotta say one thing about Deb. My first day at the station, I had been hired, came down from Connecticut, and stayed in a hotel. And I got in early, and Alan had told the guard I was coming, so I got let into the facility. And I was standing just in that doorway from the newsroom down to the long hallway. And I hear a commotion, looking down the hallway. Suddenly, some guy comes running around the corner and starts charging up the hallway. I don't know who it was, and I still don't know who it was. And the next thing I know, this tall black woman comes charging around the corner, chasing him up the hallway, yelling and screaming at the top of her lungs. The guy charges past me. The woman stopped and says, "Who are you?" And I said, "I'm Walt Nickel, chief engineer." She says, "Hi, I'm Deb." And boom! That's how I met Deb Abbott. I think Brian is next.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Not Ready for the Maybook players present Thump.
Hello. I know what you're thinking. Why the beard, Donald? I figured as the presumptive Republican presidential nominee, I'd grow a rally beard, you know?
You look like an Oompa Loompa.
Do you hear that? I get that kind of nonsense and disrespect all the time. Everywhere I go, there's someone out there who thinks that...
Mr. Trump, I have a few questions about your economic policy, if I may.
Get him out! Get out! Get him out! Throw him out! Come on, get out! Throw him out! Huh. There are some people out there who think it's okay, albeit normal, to say and scream outrageous statements without any filter or concern that someone might find their comments offensive. Go figure. Case in point, one woman. Do we have a picture of her? that picture? That was from her employee ID badge. She retired from your TV station and became a full-time pain in my ass on the campaign trail. Take a look.
Hey, boo-boo. You're a hot mess.
I got plenty of time. Look, it's a Bernie person.
You tripping.
It's a Bernie. Hello, Bernie.
Hey, baby.
Hey, Bernie, get your people in line, Bernie.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, darling.
Reset.
Go home to Mom. Go home to Mommy.
Cussing comes from a loving place.
Yeah, get her out, please. We're in no rush. Yeah, get him out.
Shut up.
Get him out.
Oh, please. Hell no.
Get out of here. Get out. Out, out, out.
Asshole. If I was perfect, you couldn't afford me.
I wonder if the Mexican government sent them over here. I think so.
That's okay, baby. I still love you.
No, it's not.
I'ma beat your ass.
Funny to you. Can you believe that? What nerve? Who does she think she is?
I'm the big sister you never wanted.
Exactly. Deborah Abbott makes Megyn Kelly look like Mother Teresa. But Deb, you've got spunk. And as much as I personally hate assertive women, I come carrying gifts on this your special day. Come up here, Deb. How are you?
Wonderful.
First, a degree from Trump University, suitable for framing.
You're too kind.
Secondly, a proclamation celebrating your creative use of the vernacular. So, these are things...
Just a moment, Donald. I think we've heard quite enough from you.
Oh, my Lord.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, look who's back from the future, Doc Brown. Where'd you park the DeLorean?
Yeah, very funny, Donald. We know you're good at getting the laughs. Lucky for you, Mr. Bernie Sanders does not stoop to that level of ad hominem attack, which, let me tell you something, is very good for you.
Oh, yeah?
Because if I were to stoop to that level, I would tell you that you look like the unfortunate byproduct of a sexual liaison between Willy Wonka and his Oompa Loompa chambermaid. But I'm not going to go there.
Solid. That's huge. Real nice. Do you want a balloon to comb your hair, Bernie?
All right. This woman right here, she's not afraid to speak her mind and tell people what is in her heart, regardless of the effects on herself or anyone around her. Which, by the way, makes her quintessentially American.
Thank you.
And that is why, that is why I would like to name you as my vice presidential runner.
Thank you, baby.
Bernie, maybe you should read this proclamation and the things that she said first.
Oh, it's nice. Oh, you have it's a proclamation. It's gonna be... Oh, my. Oh, no, She said, what? I'm sorry, I can't read this in public. Coming from the wrong person, out of context, there are a lot of people that would construe this as offensive, I would say. But you know what, Donald? I think Deborah has taught us a really important lesson.
What's that?
It's that we can disagree to agree.
That's true.
Right? Is that right? You admire Deb for her brash statements, her shocking verbosity. I, on the other hand,
yeah, thank you, baby.
I, on the other hand, admire her pursuit to speak her mind and whatever's in her heart to the public, even if some of it, frankly, makes me blush.
Thank you, Deborah, for showing us that we can get along, even if we're polar opposites, simply by saying the F-bomb from a loving place to one another. You know, Bernie, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship.
You really think so, Donald?
Nah, but it's a good way to end the skit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Not yet.
That's going to be a hard act to follow. I have two short stories. First one is a John story. And one of the few times I was working out at the transmitter with John, and there are some adjustments on the digital transmitter that I think it's called what, the linearizer? And it helps keep the signal so we can view it. And it only had a few adjustments on it, and he was going to show me how to do it. And so I was adjusting it. It didn't seem to be too bad. You know, worked on a little bit, but I didn't quite have it perfect. And he said, well, we'll come back after lunch and you can do it. Well, after lunch, I just completely walked it out of range. And John, he said, that's okay. He said, we'll just put it on automatic, and then later I'll get the adjustment so it's in. And so it was the few times that I've worked with John, he's just like he is now. There's nothing that will startle him or, it was a pleasure working with John. And the second story is a short Deb story, and if you come up here and help me tell it, because I have it from one perspective.
Okay.
It was back when we got the Harrison audio console, and it was a computer-driven console. There was a computer console in the control room, and there was one in the equipment room. And if you moved a fader, you would see it appear on the touch screen, and it would move. And if you put your finger on the touch screen and moved it there, the fader would move on the console. Well, we had just gotten it, and we needed some more operators. Deborah and Woody were the two primary operators. And this particular day, Deborah was training Diana Walpole. So listen carefully, Brad. So anyway, Deb was in showing Diana the nuances of the Harrison. And I walked by, and I happened to see them in there. And I was on my way to the equipment room. And for those of you that remember Red Skelton, the comedian, he had a little saying, I doed it, I get a whooping.
Yes,
I
you
doed
did.
it.
Mm-hmm.
I had this little streak in me that I just couldn't resist. And in the equipment room, I could see my computer monitor, the faders going up and down, and I could see what they were doing. So I just chose a fader at random, and I went zzz.
Okay, now let me interject. Now, so I'm training Diane, right? So it's like, okay, now I'm supposed to be in control of this equipment, and I don't know what the hell is going on. So I nonchalantly pull it back down and pretend like she didn't see it, right? So I'm talking to her and trying to show her something else, and it goes, I said, oh my Lord, this is out of control. I don't know what to do. So I'm showing her something over here, and I pull this fader back down because I don't know what the hell it's doing, right? Then all of a sudden, it started going, I say, wait the hell a minute, something's going on. And then it dawned on me, it was Bobby Mado. So anytime somebody see me running, they know somebody's getting ready to get it. So as I'm running past the control room, somebody got on the party line and yelled, run, here she comes, here she comes. I love you, Bobby. Oh, my Lord.
All right. First of all, I do want to echo Walt. I admire you standing down there at that transmitter for years. You probably enjoyed it because you weren't around here with the chaos. But, just to put it in perspective, your house has 120 volts going into it. I realize that's, AC, but 37,000 volts of electricity, that can make your day go bad very quickly. So I admire you in so many ways because I prefer to stay the heck away from that transmitter. So thank you for that. And so happy retirement to you. So my wife Lauren was asking me the other day, do I miss Deb? And tremendously. You're a very close friend of mine. It's weird how close we've become. But I have I have a good day and a bad day that come to mind here at KMOV in my 10 years here, actually. My best day here was in 2006. I'm 22 years old, and I walk in right here in this studio, and our anchor desk was up on that platform. And she's up working on microphones. And I say, oh, Deb, Larry Grublinghoff, who's back there, he said, I need to say hi to you. So I go up, and she comes over, and she trips off that platform right on top of me. And we fall on the ground and just entangled and laughing hysterically. And it's been weird ever since. You know what the worst day of my career here is? When you left. Your retirement. You know, if somebody had told this young 22-year-old back in 2006 that I would meet somebody like you and become such good friends, I would have thought they were absolutely nuts. And it's been awesome. Now, I do want to see a show of hands if you have ever been cussed at or yelled at by Deb. I see Peggy Miller even raising her hand. All right, I got another question. Have you ever been smacked, swatted, struck, spanked, thumped, slugged, or plunked by Deb? Raise your hand. Show of hands if anybody has ever been chased through the building while Deb is swinging the shoe at you. I got proof. This is gonna play. Dave, can you hit the space bar? She was a bit frustrated.
No, you're not recording me. I'm going to take this shoe and put it on.
I have about 5 more videos like that, but I don't want to go too far with HR. So, you know, I do have to ask Peggy, though. Have you ever seen so many people raise their hand after being verbally and physically abused, and they still keep a job?
Not one of them reported her.
Because I come from a loving place.
Yeah. You know, it's probably the biggest corporate cover-up I've ever seen. You know, your profanity-laced diatribes and thumpings come from
a loving
place. And, you know, honestly, you were completely right about that. You're not condescending. You speak from your heart with wisdom that cannot be matched by anybody. And the main thing I see that matters to you is that you're having an interaction with another human being, no matter how weird it might be.
It is true. It is true.
Now, I got 2 more videos I have to show you. Because what's really fun is when the interaction is switched and somebody plays a prank on her, because her response is incredible. So the first video I'm going to show you was actually I had nothing to do with. I wish I had. It was actually Mark Cox that had the grand idea to do this. And he took 2 clockies, and the clocky is an alarm clock with wheels. So you have to go find it. Well, they put 2 clockies in the audio booth at about 11:30 or so, right when Robin Smith was going to do a live cut-in. So, Dave, if you could hit that space bar again.
Molly and Zach.
Hey, who's the producer for this show?
Shannon Stoley.
What the hell did you do? Ron, I'm gonna kill you or your boss.
Where's all that noise?
What the hell is this?
This is live, by the way. You didn't skip a beat. I'm impressed.
I was on it.
That's how you knew she was a professional.
I'm killing you! I know I'm killing you, but
I'm
And if you've noticed, people, they play these pranks on you and they're always ready to go. They're like a tiger that's about ready to jump out of a cage. And again, I had nothing to do with that. But the final video I'd like to show you is back in December, right before she was going to retire. And we thought we'd have one last celebration back in the ENG, but Deb's way. So with some help, we placed a very large hurricane-type fan under her desk and a very large speaker, and locked her into her edit booth. Hit that.
You guys keep your mess in there. Yeah. You fucked me. I'm good.
Of course, all the joking aside, I am absolutely honored to be consider you as one of my closest friends, and I know many people here consider you as a very close friend too. I've come to you at times of need, of guidance, help, and just somebody to vent to. Because when I vent to you, you definitely put it in a perspective that nobody else absolutely can. And I know I'm talking on behalf of everybody when I say thank you for the many, 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 many memories. You've given us a lot. You will continue to be missed, and congratulations. So here's good times for your retirement.
Thank you, baby.
So I think you're next.
I get to follow up. I feel like Bob Doe. Well, hello, sweetie pie.
Hi, baby.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I've had the extreme honor of working with Deb Abbott over the course of my 8 years at Camo V. Deb is an amazing spirit that brought light and energy, even in some of the dark times at this station. Through her career, technology changes kept Deb on her toes and gave her new challenges to accomplish, ending her time at Camo V as one of the news editors, and I bet you never imagined you'd be doing that.
Never had a clue.
However,
yes,
one unexpected byproduct of Deb's time in editing was she made the ball chair fashionable in the news department. Now it seems everyone is firming their core while working away at their desks, except me. I'm not that balanced.
Okay.
Not yet, at least. But it is a thing.
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
It is a thing.
I was especially fond of Deb's evening steps around the first floor, keeping her Fitbit happy and hear her talking to whomever on the phone, even though many times I thought she was talking to me, but not so much. And Deb walking to Amanda's office for candy kind of defeats the purpose.
Wait, I know, but it's all right.
But I could count on you knowing the time of day with your walks around the newsroom, so thank you for that. But I always will remember Deb at Camo V as a kind spirit who made everyone feel at home and at ease. Sometimes she dealt out tough love or gave advice, whether you asked for it or not.
It's true.
Because that's what God put you on the earth to do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Deb, I'll be wearing my sunscreen.
Thank you.
Sunscreen every time I'm out in the sun. Thank you for caring so much about all of us, your work, and Camo V. Best wishes in retirement from myself and all of your friends here.
Thank you, baby.
I have a gift for you. So this is on behalf of the station. So your card from all your friends. This is from me.
Oh, thank you.
And then the rest is for you. And I think, oh, then Tom comes up. Do we want to do this now or wait?
Do Tom.
Oh, Tom, you're good.
Okay.
Then you get remarks.
Yay! Yay! Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted a GoPro. So I got all the attachments and the GoPro. Thank you, everybody. So, when I start doing my cooking show, I'm going to email all you guys, and you know it's going to be a hoot. So just stay tuned. Okay, I don't even know where to start, and I don't want to start crying. But I have had a fabulous time at KMOV. Sometimes it wasn't as fabulous as I would have liked, but you know, that's how broadcast is. But I managed to always decompress, walk a little bit, cuss a little bit, fuss a little bit, but I'll never have an ulcer. And I've always managed to be around people that I needed to be around when things weren't quite right, and always gravitated to the people that I needed when things were damn good. So I've had friendships for a reason here, for a season here, and for a lifetime. And I will eternally be grateful because nobody has had a run like my run, baby. You know, I'm just saying, I'm not coming from an egoic place. It's just I have had a fabulous time at KMOV because it's just a wonderful place to be, and I'm going to be eternally grateful. And like Justin is the little brother I never wanted. I'm gonna love you for life. You know, he knows this. You know, and I'm just grateful and humbled and thankful that I had the opportunity to be here as long as I've had, learned so many different things. I think I've done everything here but TD. Don't want that, that sucks. But I mean, I'm just happy that I was able to keep up and grow. And where's Dave Collins? Dave Collins is my little worrywart. Because they kept sending me, when technology improved, that means they got rid of my behind, so I had to go learn something else. So at first I went into media. That was okay, even though I hate computers. I handled that. Then I went to Central. I was petrified in Central, because that's the last place, and then it goes out, right? And if you screw up, everybody's gonna know. I don't want to hear the phone ring. What happened? Well, you know what happened. I screwed up. I don't even want to be bothered with that. But Dave Trumpeter was the best supervisor I ever had when it comes to Central Control. He made me the woman I was in that control room. Okay. Don Lucy, we had decades of good times. I mean, we started with the morning cut-ins, then it ended up the early morning newscast, having to be here at 4 o'clock in the morning, which sucked, but it's okay, you know, because you got out at 12:30, so it was okay. We had a good show, we had good products, we had a little tay-to-tay every now and then, but it didn't stop me from loving you or you loving me, but that's just who we are, you know, it's okay. Then, when I got finished with Central, I went into ENG. Oh, my Lord. I had to double up on blood pressure medicine because it was stressful. Where's Mark Halfman? Is he here?
He's in his daughter's graduation.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope he sees this tape. He is the best supervisor that I could have ever had because he had the patience of Job. Because the first month or two, I wasn't getting it. It's like, boy, let me see how much money I got, because I might have to get the hell out of here. I am not liking this at all. You know, but he said, Deborah, you getting it. You're doing all right. You're being overcritical. It's a learning curve. But once I got through making a couple mistakes, and he didn't even have me come to his office, because a couple of times it was big mistakes. Thank you, baby, for that. But I got it. And then I started feeling comfortable, and editing got to be really, really good. I will never be as good as my sensei, Laura. She's the queen, but I'm a good second. And I don't mind being second because there's pressure when you're the best. Second best is good for me, you know. But I learned a lot, and that's a skill that I would be able to use even in my retirement. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to even being, I'm not going to say stuck, but being put in ENG. So I've had a blast. I love you all. I'm going to have wonderful memories. I'll never forget you all. Hope y'all don't forget me. And it's just been real. Thank you so much.
Click off, Deb.
What have we learned today? We've learned that Deb Abbott may possibly be a very large and scary woman, but actually a sweetie pie.
Thank you,
and we
baby.
know this because she hasn't killed 2/3 of you. I tell you, I kind of lay low, you know. I started in September, and I hear these stories. I heard this Walt story, the slightly more colorful version with the language included. I'm like, oh, no. But you're the best.
Thank you, sweetie.
John over here is the best, too. You know, working on that transmitter is kind of a single combat warrior sort of thing. You know, if you're doing your job, nobody knows it. The thing was on the air last night when everybody went to bed. It's on the air. When they got up in the morning, no one knows that at some point between now and then, there was a geyser shooting up in the middle of the transmitter room, water every place. Nobody knows this. It's just on the air. You just take it for granted. That's the kind of guy you want out there. One thing we didn't learn today is that John Mensch is, in fact, flappable. And I know how. We were out there. This is my only John story. We were coming out the transmitter to do something, Jeremy Golden and I. And we were just going out there completely at random. And what we didn't realize was that about 5 minutes before we got there, he and Don had done some boneheaded thing and disconnected something, and something happened. And so we just walk in. We don't know what's going on. Walk in there and walk in the back room of the transmitter, and there's John, and Don's in there with this kind of, what the hell are you doing here kind of look on their face, you know? How did you get here? How did you know? Well, we didn't know. I wish I'd played it a little bit. Because I could have had a little fun, but, you know, so I have in fact seen the flappable John Mensch, but John, you're a good man and a smart guy, and a guy who probably, did you intend to be a transmitter guy when every transmitter guy, it was kind of like Family Guy. Did you intend to be the transmitter guy when you first started out, or is this just something that just kind of fell into it? And that's the thing, you know, you have that screw loose that we all have. And you just, well, this looks interesting, let's pick this up. Looks dangerous, ooh, me first, you know. It is a scary place. I mean, there really are, you know, Justin touched upon it. You know, there really are things out there that can kill you. You have to be careful. You have to be good. John's both. Last thing, I would point out to the assemblage that I think of another thing we've learned today is that you really don't really want the engineers to take an interest in you, because this is what happens. One of them dresses up like Donald Trump, another one dresses up like Abraham Lincoln, and they con the poor weatherman into dressing up like Bernie Sanders. I mean, so you're probably best off. The engineers just never really even knew you existed. Would you like to say something? You could. Come on up. Say something.
I don't have a whole lot to say. I just wanted to thank Walt and Joe for giving me a nice job to handle the transmitter. I've enjoyed my work here at the station. I've made a lot of friends here, and I've met Tom, and we've gotten along pretty well too. So I'm very happy. I've enjoyed my time here, and I hope to continue some kind of relationship.
When you ask an older person such as myself, what do you want? You know, it's often, you know, you go out and you try to buy him something, you never buy him, so you know what? He gets what he asked for. Yeah. A gift certificate at Micro Center. This is what to me, you're here so seldom. You know, he went the whole Pimentel administration without ever seeing the guy. It's like 3 3 years, never saw the general manager. I think he's only laid eyes on Mike twice in his life, today and at Walt's retirement. What can I say?
Yep, I enjoy working as a transmitter.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Good for your
I
blood
like
pressure.
being banished to the transmitter.
Banished.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Buddy, there's a line waiting for that job. So you want to say the 3 words that everybody's waiting to hear?
I love retirement.
No.
What? Oh, that's important.
Those are the 3 words they're all waiting to hear.
Okay, lunch is served.
Yeah!